everybody. It is me, Sacred G. I hope you all are doing well. Today is the day we talk about Skyrim. I am going to try my best to be spoiler-free. I am going to talk about the main story and a lot of other aspects with the game that I enjoyed and did not enjoy, and ways that I think they could have done better. So without further ado, let's get this show started. So, like many of Bethesda's RPGs, you are thrown into the world. In this game, you are a prisoner committing a crime you may or may not have committed. You're thrown into the Imperial, decap list. And that's when you get the choice of making your character by selecting every race, and they all have their special, unique powers or abilities. Well, not necessarily abilities, it's more powers. And, it's traditional, it's an old game, just the RPG sliders, nothing crazy like we got in Fallout 4. And then afterwards, you realize you weren't really on the list, you were just kind of thrown in there, which kind of makes the Imperials look very bad. Well, before you are sentenced to the death, a dragon comes and attacks and saves your ass. And then it's up to you to figure out what the fuck this dragon is, what the hell, and why they're coming back, because in the game they tell you they're coming back. That's all I'm gonna say for the main story. Now, the thing with me with the main story is I liked it, and I didn't. I'm gonna be straight up honest, Delphine's annoying. Okay, she's a character in the main story, you'll meet her later on. And, I liked aspects of the main story. I just wish that you could have joined the dragons. There was, like, a faction with the dragons that you could choose to join. You could be or choose to help the evil dragons and all that stuff, which doesn't happen. I did like the trip to Sovereign Guard, because it was a beautiful area, actually, and it was really cool. It's just, there's just some things I have with the main story. I mean, overall, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was this groundbreaking story. I think what makes the story, in my opinion, better is if you do side quests on your journey to figure out what the fuck's going on, how do we stop this, atrocity, whatever. I think that's when the main story actually kind of kicks off a bit. Like, you kind of do a bit of the side content, and then you come back and do some of the main story. It's like you are making decisions, making your character who they are. So that's my opinion on the main story. Overall, I thought it was okay. Delphine's annoying as fuck, so let's move on. Oh yeah, and also, Parthenax. Perfect. Not really perfect, but you get what I'm saying. I loved the interaction with Parthenax, and just talking to the Greybeards and everything. I thought the Greybeards were cool, believe it or not. So, without further ado, let's move on to the other stuff I have listed. The world, man. You could get lost in that place. I am not joking. The open world in this game is fantastic. It's not perfect by any means. It is fucking fantastic. It is a buggy, fantastic experience. Now, for me, though, I honestly haven't had, like, a severe bug happen. But yes, the world's fucking incredible. There's a lot of times where I got so sidetracked with the main story when I was playing the main story so I could actually do this review. I got sidetracked so bad that I actually forgot about the main story and wanted to go explore the locations. The world's fucking huge. There are different biomes, there's snowy mountains, there's fucking forests, there's plains, and there's even mountains and everything in between what I just said. And it's just it's wonderful, actually, to me. I honestly love Skyrim, the world. It's a great place to be. Not necessarily, I mean, who would want to live in a world where a lot of crazy, creepy shit happens and some dangerous wildlife, but besides that, the world is just fantastic to explore. I just honestly think it just kind of gave me, when I was exploring, I was actually playing, because I made two characters, vanilla, and I made a elf thief And as I'm exploring, because I'm not doing the main story with that character, when I was doing or exploring and going from place to place, it felt like D&D, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you can run into random encounters or people that want to talk to you or fight you or sell you skooma or all of that stuff. It's pretty intriguing and very immersive, at least to me. And it just felt like, when your dungeon master would say, okay, somebody approaches you. Well, the game kind of has that in video game sense. So yeah, the world's incredible. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. What do you think of Skyrim? Let's move on. The track for this fucking game. Oh man, I know you've heard a lot of people talk about it. It is great. It's actually very peaceful music, and it has some good combat scores in there as well. There's nothing much more I could say about the music besides I really enjoyed it. And it's like, I don't know, the thing I can add is that when I play these types of games, and especially Skyrim, when the music hits, you just start to think about life. I don't know, for me, that's what I do. It's like, I'm grateful to be playing this game because of the fact the music is so great and it fits the world perfectly. In my opinion, it's very, fantasy-like, it's very peaceful, and as I said, there are combat tracks in this as well. It just, for me, it makes me, think about life and how grateful I am to be playing this game. Oh man, the things you could do in this game, man. I will tell you, there are plenty of things that will keep you occupied in this game. You could collect flowers and sample them for potions if you want to play as an alchemist. You can collect weapons. You could collect treasures in dungeons. There are plenty of dungeons in the game that you could do. There's also plenty of side quests and everything in between. There's like a lot of things in this game that will keep you in the world for a good amount of time. And it's actually all, to me, alright. I mean, yes, it's buggy. I am going to say this. It is buggy at times. I have not personally experienced all these wacky, crazy bugs that people have talked about. In this world, though, there are plenty of things for you to do. You can dual wield and all that stuff, and I'll get into the combat stuff as well. In the world, there is plenty of things for you to do. You could break into people's houses, you could steal shit, you can join guilds, you can join factions, you can help out a civil war, you can fucking blow people off mountains and all that stuff, and it's just, to me, it's wonderful. I actually really like that. I really like the abundance of content in this game for the age this game is. That is insane. And it's even more insane that people even add content to the game via mods, even console mods, even, PlayStation mods included. I mean, there are quest mods and stuff for that game, or for that version of the game. It's just, there's a lot to offer in this fucking game, dude. The world's beautiful. There's a lot to do. So let's move on to the other wonderful things that are in Skyrim. A few things I did forget to mention that you can do. You can actually get married in this game. You could buy a house. You could build a house. You can, well, since all the DLCs are together, you could build a house. You can adopt children. You could treat them like shit. You can not really treat them like super bad, which is good, but you can, in a way, treat them kind of terribly in a way if you wanted to play that way. You can have pets in the game. You can go exploring. You could just do quests if you want to do them. There's a lot of things to offer in this game. You can even go hunting, actually. You can go hunting with magic. You can go hunting with just a normal bow. A lot of shit to offer in this game. Alright, the other thing I want to talk about is the weapon build types that you can do. There are plenty of them that you can do. For an example, I have a archer conjurer, if that makes sense. So my character could, conjure enemies, or not enemies, but can conjure entities into the world and fight for them, or fight for him. And he uses a bow as the main weapon. There are plenty of different build styles you could do in this game, and I think that's incredible, and especially, yet again, for the time this game came out. There's plenty of ways to play the game, and to me, it's incredible. You know, to other people, not so much, but yet again, this is my opinion, so I personally do enjoy the building types. Like, there are several of them I haven't tried. I haven't tried, like, dual-wielding swords. I haven't tried that yet. I mean, that's another character I'm going to have to do for another time. There's just so many build styles you can choose from, and there's a lot of skills that you can use or kind of utilize for the build that you want. And the cool thing is that I'm going to throw in here is the way you build the skills for your build is you do the action that the build, or like, for an example, if you're using a one-handed sword, you're going to level up one-handed by attacking enemies and successfully landing hits on the enemies. The same thing with archery and sneaking. You successfully sneak past people or stay undetected for a good amount of time. You'll level up your sneak by actually doing the action that pretty much levels up the skill. So you just do the action. And yeah, I will say that the perks are a little lackluster. There's not very many, but I think they are pretty unique and useful to the point where I kind of understand that the perks just have a big use to them to kind of make sense to why there's not very many. Other than that, I love doing the build. I love the builds in this game and also the perks that go with the builds. So let's move on to the other point, the NPCs. Oh, they're so funny. So, what I mean by NPCs is like the characters you can interact with, like the shopkeepers, you know, even characters in the story, and I could not... The most annoying character to me was Delphine. She was just too bitchy to me, and I just didn't like her at all. I just, you know, this is twice I beat in the game, and I just can't side with her. I mean, I kept Parthenax alive, mainly due to the fact that Delphine is such a bitch, in my opinion, and it was just like, I'm having a hard time kind of siding with you here, because you just come off like, oh, this person helped us, let's fuck them over by taking their life. I mean, what the fuck? But the thing also I am going to be a little critical here is that the NPCs don't have very much to say. Now, granted, the world and the setting kind of make up for that. I mean, this is a depressing area. I mean, in a depressing time for Skyrim. There's a huge civil war going on. One of the Nord's biggest gods is being forbidden from the land because of the Thalmor. And one of the things that, you know, I can get behind is that in a time like that, I don't think very many people be willing to open up to you and tell you what they think of certain things, because first of all, the Thalmor are scary. They kidnap people who disagree with them, I believe. I could be mistaken on that, but they kidnap and kill people, I think, if they worship Talos, so I'm pretty sure if they... Like, there were a few NPCs, actually, that disagree with it, but I think it's if they worship Talos, so I was wrong there. But if they worship the god that they're trying to forbid from Skyrim, they tend to kill those people, which morally ambiguous, yes, and actually kind of fucked up. But the thing is that, you know, as much as I liked Starfield's NPCs and they give their opinions on certain things and they kind of come off as their own person, Skyrim's kind of don't in that sense. I mean, they kind of just give you the straight answer and they kind of just say, well, you know, this is the situation of who you're talking to and all that stuff. Like, they don't have, like, full opinions on the war. Some of them do. To me, I like the deeper conversation. But that doesn't bother me, actually, to be honest. I mean, I just look at it as this is a depressing time. I don't think everybody should open up to some stranger who came in, you know, who they don't know. It just wouldn't make sense to me if that happened. And it's cool when it does happen. It's just, you know, you just kind of feel like one-dimensional characters, if that makes sense. Like, some of them are really cool and unique. You know, the companions, like, not the guild, but the, or the faction, the followers you could get in this game, they suck. They have no personality whatsoever, And the only companion that does have a personality is a DLC companion from Dawnguard, which we all know who that is. And I do agree that sucks, but I don't think they serve the purpose of just holding and hoarding your shit. I think they serve a wonderful purpose of, joining your party and helping you out in that sense. But they just don't have personalities. Like, you can commit atrocities in a hold, and then they could still help you. It's not like they don't have their own, morals and values and personality. It's just, the NPCs are just kind of lacking, and like the followers are just fucking lame in terms of personality. Like, it's cool, that does feel like a D&D campaign. You have a little party going on. However, they just don't have any values or personality. That's what I think of the NPCs, or at least the followers and some of the NPCs you could talk to. Like, some of them, again, as I said, can give you their opinions on certain things, and they do feel like they're their own character, but a good majority of people just kind of come off one-dimensional to me. That's the only negative I have with this, but it doesn't ruin the game for me. It's not a bad game because I say that. This is just what I think of the NPCs, and if you disagree with that, let me know down in the comments. Well, no, I do want to apologize if I did spoilerize a bit of the game, but I'm not going to go any further. These are just my opinions on the game. I overall did enjoy Skyrim. I am not going to slap a score on this shit because that's up to you. If you didn't like it, let me know down in the comments. Be civil, please. And let me know why you liked it. Tell me what your characters are, because I made a thieving, as I said earlier, I made a thieving conjuring elf who joined who went to Skyrim to join the Thieves Guild, because before he went to Skyrim, he heard about the Thieves Guild and Riften, so that's why he went to Skyrim, got entangled with the, the Imperials, and that's how they pretty much captured everybody and sent them to the chopping block, which is funny because I also wrote in that he had a stolen spell book because he was also trying to flee because he stole a spell book, and his main things to steal is pretty much gold and spell books and food, since I'm playing on survival. Let me know what your characters are. He's also an alcoholic too, but let me know what your characters are. If they're silly, if they're serious, if they're, a part of, the Nords, or if they're a Breton and they serve the Imperials, whatever it may be. Let me know down below what you guys thought. I would say play this game for yourself if you haven't played it. And if you did, let me know. That's me, Sacred G. Peace the fuck out. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.